The Simpsons, the classic television series which both pushed the boundaries of what could be shown on TV and made its mark on popular culture. Could a dark secret be hiding in the early seasons of the popular show? Could the supposed cartoon characters we love actually be real footage of mutated humans?
The Simpsons' real radiation footage is the theory featured deep into the conspiracy theory iceberg, discussing the idea that the first 5 seasons of The Simpsons is actually real footage of a town after a nuclear meltdown. The theory explains that the seasons were actually shown backwards. The 5th season is the earliest, and the 1st season is the last.
What is perceived as an animated TV show may actually be a cover-up, hiding the largest civilian nuclear disaster in American history as an innocent cartoon series, hiding a real-life nuclear disaster due to mismanagement in plain sight, claimed to be all the imagination of Matt Groening.
The Simpsons, in reality, is not a cartoon sitcom, but a reality, live-action TV series following the lives of the people of Springfield suffering from the effects of a real nuclear disaster. The show is claimed to span over the course of a year, again starting from Season 5 and ending with Season 1. Presumably, the family we know as The Simpsons died of radiation poisoning soon after the filming of this final season.
The believed time of recording the series was before April of 1987, or before the airing of The Simpsons shorts originally on The Tracy Ullman Show. It's believed to have been filmed in the year before due to episode 12 of season 1, where a clip from Krusty's television series shows that Krusty the Clown had a heart attack a year earlier. In the clip, the characters shown look relatively healthier compared to the condition they are in the time of season 1.
The characters between season 1, 5, and onward are never seen to age, which supports the claim that these first 5 seasons were filmed over the span of a year, just before their debut on The Tracy Ullman Show. The claim of the disaster that affects this town being radiation leakage is also supported by the many disturbing shots of how the radiation has altered not just the residents, but the animals and landscape as well. Examples from the first season, including episode 2, where in one shot a tree is green, and in the next, it's orange. In episode 4, the sky is an unnatural orange, which could be a sunset, but in the context of the scene, would not make sense to be that late.
To explain the strange-looking people in town, Fox Broadcasting made the claim that their new show was going to be an animated series, waving off any strange happenings as animation mistakes or even cartoon logic. How could an animator be able to put so much detail and nuance of disaster into an animated show?
Why cover up such a travesty of an animated show? That's exactly it. A travesty this big to a small town in the United States would cause an outrage. Lawsuits would pour in from neighboring cities that could be affected by the disaster. Why wouldn't they want to hide that?
The Tracy Ullman Show versions of the family we see are quite disturbing. Our first look at America's favorite family is actually their last. These shorts were filmed in the final days of their lives, before the diseases that came from the nuclear disaster took them. We see starting from season 5 that the residents are relatively healthy, but once you go back down to season 1, you see a rapid decline of their health.
Their bodies morph. Characters we see regularly in later seasons disappear, or maybe even die as we get closer to the end. But why show the series from the end to the beginning? To cover up that we are actually watching real people suffer and die, of course.
The children are never shown to grow or develop at all, which supports that the show was filmed over a short period of time. The Simpsons baby, Maggie, in particular is shown to stay exactly the same, despite the fact that she would have been in a stage of life where she'd be developing and growing quickly.
If this theory is true, then how can the fact that The Simpsons have voice actors be explained? It is rumored that the voice actors of The Simpsons are random people chosen to act as the voices for the real Simpson family, once again alluding to the cover-up. Because The Simpsons is a reality TV show, obviously the characters wouldn't need voice actors.
Instead, the audience is hearing the real voices of the real Homer, Marge, Bart, and Lisa. Meanwhile, Dan Castanella, the voice of Homer Simpson, is used to cover up the real Homer's voice and make the show seem like an animated comedy rather than a horrifying reality TV show. The voice actors, in a way, are just mascots to give a face behind the show and strengthen the hidden truths of the show's reality.
But why cover up such a giant disaster with a television series? Who is involved in the cover-up? Who's involved in the conspiracy? And why keep up the charade to this day? The people involved in the disaster were too big to fail. If it had become public knowledge that a town was destroyed due to incompetence and little precaution, it would destroy the legitimacy of many government organizations and possibly put hundreds of rich people in prison.
What's better than to hide the atrocity in plain sight, erase the town of Springfield from all records and replace it with a cartoon sitcom for all ages to enjoy? Thousands of innocent people would die in the abandoned town, but at least the people on top get to stay comfortable.
Fox, and all who worked on the show during this time, were most likely forced to stay quiet about the truth of their documentation. The promise of success and wealth would surely keep anyone quiet. It's a tragedy to watch the decay of people, every episode reaching closer to their demise. Even worse is to see other people profit off the suffering of the people.
The episodes from Season 6 to the newest premiere on Fox are only an animated facade based off the unfortunate life of those Springfield residents. Returning to the original short and watching the family go to bed one last time together is a dark and depressing reminder of the cruelty of our world. At least we had the chance to watch the wonderful residents of Springfield use their final year of life to its fullest.
An interesting thought, in theory as it is, Simpsons' real radiation footage, of course, is a fake story and a sarcastic way to look at the first few seasons of The Simpsons. There is more evidence that the show is an animated cartoon over a real-life sitcom.
The theory even mentions interdimensional travel, claiming that the dream and fantasy sequences we view in these seasons were actually alternate universes or recordings directly from the characters' minds. This aspect is too far-fetched to believe.
The fictional city of Springfield is nothing more than that. Fortunately, there was never a nuclear disaster that ravaged a city, and there never was footage documenting the lives of those caught in the fallout.
You never know. Like the theory says, all traces of the city existing were erased from history. Perhaps there's some people out there that remember the town and are confused why they can't find it anymore.
Or maybe it's just a cartoon.
That's what they want you to think.
There's nothing to worry about. Now everyone go to sleep. Good night.
Stay curious.
Join us again next time when we once again go obscure.